In progress.
All right, talking to the average guy out there, if you want to push back against something anti-male, this is a kind of rhetoric you have to fight against. This guy, Project Nightfall, he sees there are women online, grown women, flirting with guys with baby talk. It's a mere fetish. And he's going to try to spin it as pedophilia. And by the way, this is why this guy has over 2 million subs, because he knows who to attack and to grow his channel. Now, let's get into this and we will debunk this.
These women are dressing up like little girls, pretending to be toddlers.
Yeah, so that's the fetish. It's a simple fetish. Now, let's see. I'll get past this because it gets noisy for whatever reason.
Innocent and seductive are being watched by millions.
Yeah, they're innocent and seductive. Toddlers aren't seductive, so.
Bye.
No.
Okay, fine. Bye.
No, thank you.
Videos of women acting way younger than they really are. Videos that seem to purposely bait men who have, let's just say, questionable taste.
What are you talking about, questionable taste? That's an attractive grown woman. That's what they're attracted to. So that's what it is. Actually, I shouldn't ask him a rhetorical question like that. This guy knows what he's talking about. This is an attack on men. And he's willing to attack other men with the idea that he'll be excluded somehow.
A questionable taste.
Watch this.
And to be clear, we are not here to shame the women who chose to do this.
Of course he isn't. Of course he isn't. This guy wants to attack men and let the women off. And this is the thing about pedophile. Who's more likely to be a pedophile? The guy who's just interested in watching a gorgeous woman, or the woman who does the baby talking? I would say the women are just as likely, actually more likely, to be actual pedophiles. But this guy is going to make excuses for them and try to give some positive spin on it.
Do this. In fact, we are aware that acting like a little girl can psychologically be a coping mechanism for some women who want to relive a better childhood and feel cared for.
Oh, really? So these adult women want to be children, according to you. They're not simply making money selling sex on the internet. This is the narrative he's trying to push. Even if he was right about this and that's what they wanted, that would be pathetic. A grown man who wants to return to childhood, they will call him Peter Pan. But of course, this woman worshiper and man hater will want to spin it this way.
So instead, in this video, we will be asking something that many people are afraid to even ask. How many men are secretly into underage girls?
He's not afraid to ask this. This is why he has 2 million subs. This is why. Because he's asking a question that is toothless. No one's afraid to ask this, because anything that attacks men is 100% allowed. If he really wanted to ask a question no one wants to ask, how many of these women are pedophiles? That would be a question he would be afraid to ask. And any man, by the way, who looks at this woman is anything but a pedophile or underage. This is not an underage girl, so any man showing interest in her isn't necessarily into underage girls, period.
Into underage girls. How many men are turned on by this?
You mean a full-grown woman with a rockin' body in a miniskirt? Most of us are. I am attracted to this grown woman with the rocking body in a miniskirt. I'm not into her particular fetish. Maybe I'd get her to do something else. But any man who is into Toddlers wouldn't bother watching this. And by the way, pal, are you suggesting that men shouldn't be allowed to engage in fetishes? Of course he is. That's exactly what this guy is saying, everyone. He wants to be not only the sex police, he wants to deny men any kind of sexual pleasure. He wants it for himself, but for the rest of us, we're not allowed. And this is incredibly rocking body. And yes, I am attracted to this for that reason. And here's another thing. This woman could sit in a lawn chair, cross her legs, and watch the grass grow, and she'd be sexually attractive to men.
Let's see in the legal comments. Daddy's home.
So all he's doing is demonizing these men who are flirting with this grown woman. So this is the kind of terrible person you have to deal with. This is the kind of person, if I had my way, this video would be taken down. This is hate speech towards men. I would have this video stricken if I could. So we'll get past that.
Secretly into underage girls. And if
it's a non sequitur, because how many women are into underage girls and boys? None of these guys care. See, if they did, it would be gender neutral. And he says, if you want more proof, he's not going to provide proof. He's actually going to provide the proof of his opposite. He's going to destroy his own case.
if you need more proof, just look at this. Remember this girl? This is Bad Baby, and you might recognize her from this.
Take me outside. How about that?
When this came out, she was 13. But years later, right after turning 18 years old, Bad Baby immediately joined the adult content platform OnlyFans and...
Okay, so she turned 18, so she grew into an adult. So it doesn't matter that she was once 13. I was once 13. We were all 13 at one time. The men lasted after she turned into a young adult. So this destroys his narrative.
There, after only 6 hours of entering this website, she already earned $1 million.
Yeah, prostitution is highly economically, good for women. Online prostitution is megabucks for women. And men would love to be able to do that.
Just imagine the concept. How many men were just waiting for this teenager to become legal? And
If they're waiting for her to become legal, they're not into underage girls. If they're strictly into underage girls, once she hit legal age, they wouldn't be interested in her. So he's got a false narrative going on here.
Baby herself has said this about making her OnlyFans.
Get tired of you asking, so it.
A teenager was constantly being asked by men to get naked, and
it doesn't matter if she's a teenager. She's not underage. Just being a teen isn't enough. Once she hits 18, she's a young adult. And so she's an adult being asked by men to get naked. And all she has to do is refuse. But she doesn't refuse because she's making a shit ton of money off these guys. So you are hostile to other men. Because this woman gets everything, and you're going after men who are harming no one.
now that she's 19, it's very hard to get out of it. Especially when she has already earned, get this, nearly $53 million.
See this bullshit narrative? She's not getting out of this. She doesn't want to. She's making megabucks. Pal, this woman is making tons of money off of losers who are willing to give them hard-earned money. She is not a victim in this at all. She's not a victim of anything. And women are always on the sell one way or the other. If you're a stay-at-home wife, you're selling prostitution. You get to not work for a living off the back of a working man. So anyway, so this guy, he's against fetishes, basically. Now, take a look at this. Well, just a minute, I'll find it for it. This guy is dumb enough to show a girl with fox ears. What's your name again? Project Nightfall. Do you think that guys who are turned on by this girl are into bestiality? Of course you don't. Of course you don't, Project Nightfall. Guys aren't saying, oh, I really want to bang foxes. So here's this girl who's pretending to be a fox, and that's the best I can do. Of course not. So these women talking baby talk doesn't matter. Women have talked baby talk to grown men forever, since the dawn of time. So what he's basically saying is that he wants to what? Go after men who aren't harming anyone and criminalize their behavior. Now, I know one of the guys said, don't do personal attacks, but you can imagine what I think of this guy. Any guy who pedophile smears another man is the lowest of the low. This is a cretin. I don't care. I am saying what this guy is. He's a cretin. And this video is hate speech against men, and it should be taken down. And that's what I have to say about that.